kids used to spend their times playing in parks like this right here. Nowadays, kids aren't spending their time at parks as much. And you may be wondering, why is that? Well, tonight, you're going to find out the answer to that question.
And instead, kids are spending more time in places like this. Tonight, we're going to break down why kids are obese. Stay tuned to find out.
Hey girl.
What's up? I'm Christian.
How you doing? I'm Billy Famara.
And today we're going to talk about...
childhood obesity.
Now, Billy, do you know that 1 in 6 kids are obese?
1 in 6 kids, you say?
1 in 6 kids.
That's a pretty high number, don't you think?
I think that's utterly ridiculous. That number is.
1 in 6 is pretty scary to think about.
Let's see. So there are about, what would you say, about 20 kids in our class?
Yeah, I'd say about 25 kids.
25 kids. 1 in 6 of those are obese.
Yeah.
Can't do the math in my head right now.
That's about 5 people.
5 kids in our class are classified as obese. Billy, did you also know that 9 out of 10 of those kids that are obese have health problems?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. That is a 90%.
Yes, 90% of those kids have health problems because they're obese.
That's not right.
That's terrible.
And we're going to figure out why.
Yes, it's definitely an issue we're going to tackle coming up later.
Coming up later, we got an interview with the one and only Hunter Bartman.
Yes.
Will we change his life?
That's going to be pretty interesting.
It's going to be intense. Grab your tissues. Grab a snack. Be ready, because you're going to cry. Alright,
so self-esteem, it affects not just yourself and the way you act, the way you look, how you dress, things like that. It also affects the people around you. For example, your family members, your friends, teachers, just anybody you're usually around. And it can have a negative effect on them too. If your self-esteem is very low, a lot of obese kids don't have a high self-esteem, and it's because they don't like the way that they look. So coming up next, we are going to have mental effects with Christian Vadis. Get ready, because it's going to be a good one.
Thank you, Billy. Our next topic of the day is going to be depression. Now, you may ask yourself, what is depression? Depression is a mental disorder that causes you to feel down, to feel drowsy, to not be your complete self. Now, this is followed with the obesity. Now, how could this affect a child, you may ask? Although depression is very common in children and adults, it is something that you need to take seriously. Depression will make you feel like you do not belong, you do not fit in, you don't have a group or a section of your own that you belong in. May also feel like you don't want to get out and do stuff. You may not want to go hang out with your friends or go to your family party. That is how depression will affect you. Depression may also make you feel, although you are lonely, you are not loved, you are not wanted. You may not fit in. Although you may look and act like everybody else, your personal self tells you you can't do it. This is something that needs to be taken seriously. And with depression, it's going to happen. And don't you worry, we got more coming up. Next, we got emotional effects with Billy. Stay tuned to find out. Nervousness, being scared. This is all stuff that most people come across on a daily basis. Whenever you have this daily, and it's more severe, it's called anxiety. And anxiety is followed with childhood obesity. Children who are obese tend to have anxiety. Now, what anxiety is it's that scared, nervous feeling we get before we have a test, or perhaps before we public speak. That is what anxiety is. And this causes kids to not want to go to school. They're too afraid to go to school. Who's going to pick on them? Who's going to be calling their names? This may also cause kids to not want to participate in school activities such as sports or clubs. You may be afraid that if you don't get picked first, that you're not good enough. Or that if you don't hit the ball properly, that they're going to make fun of you. That feeling, it's a disease for kids, and it needs to stop. Hi, I didn't see you there.
What's up?
How you doing? So we've gone through and broken down the mental effects of childhood obesity.
Yes.
Such as anxiety, depression,
Self-esteem issues.
eating disorders, and now,
How it affects your family and friends, people around you.
and if you're going to stay tuned and watch, we're going to talk about the physical effects.
Yes.
How it affects your body, how it can affect different diseases, daily tasks that you wouldn't
Yes.
imagine it actually affects.
Yes. Obesity can cause many things. One being cancer. There are many types of cancer that it can cause. It can cause heart disease, different problems, diabetes. All these issues are very important. And obesity increases your risks of these types of things.
So make sure you stay tuned, and we're going to break these down
In a little bit. So we're out for now. But
in the words of Mr. Bruckner, get ready to begin.
now we're going to talk about type 2 diabetes. What does type 2 diabetes do? It affects the way your body uses sugar. So, for example, a normal person can eat a candy bar, think nothing of it. They don't have to worry about anything. But a person with type 2 diabetes may have to worry about how much sugar is in the candy bar. And depending on that, they may have to inject themselves with insulin because of the way their pancreas uses the sugar and produces it. Coming up next at another random location that has nothing to do with what we're filming, metabolic syndrome.
Welcome back, everyone.
How you doing?
So we've been talking about the physical effects of childhood obesity. Now, real quick, we're going to run through some physical, some mental, some social
Yes.
effects that come with childhood obesity, right, Billy?
Yes.
First off, we're going to go real fast, metabolic syndrome.
Mhm.
What metabolic syndrome is, it's build up plaque in your arteries and will eventually lead to heart disease.
Mhm.
What's next?
Next is high cholesterol and high blood pressure, and it causes the buildup of plaque in the arteries and blocks oxygen from getting to the brain. So now on to sleep disorders.
Sleep disorders. Now, what this is, okay, imagine Billy's sleeping. Billy, go to sleep real quick. Okay, his breathing's gonna get real rapidly, and then it's gonna stop. So, being obese actually causes that. You'll breathe rapidly, and then you'll stop, and it will cause you to wake up. Billy, what's next? Non-fatty alcoholic liver disease.
Yes, so fatty deposits will build up on your liver, and also it'll cause the liver to inflate, which can cause types of cancer and scarring of the tissue.
Okay, we've talked about the physical. Now let's get into the social.
Yes.
People who are obese, like Billy, for example, tend to get bullied. You little bitch.
I don't think you can
That's
do that.
that's. They're targeted more because they are obese, and that could affect people more. What about Billy? Let's talk about some social skills.
So for social skills, kids who are overweight, sometimes they have trouble making friends because of their weight problem, and they just won't be as social.
They're secluded.
Because they don't feel good about themselves, which is a problem. And poor social skills can lead to more bullying most of the time.
And poor social skills actually leads to our next point, which is unemployment. That
I don't know how about
obese
Yes.
people are, even kids are kind of targeted and proven that they are unemployed more. Okay, real quick, let's go long-term effects. Kids who are obese tend to be more apt to be obese as adults.
Yes. kids whose parents are obese are more likely to be obese as a child.
Also, kids will mature earlier. It's been a proven fact.
They will also tend to be taller than most normal kids, and their obesity can create hormone imbalances, which can cause them to go through puberty faster than normal kids.
Also, health issues, cancer, heart disease, strokes. That's a big word.
Osteoporosis.
Osteoarthritis.
And then your lifespan is shortened, all because of being fat. Also, short-term, some
effects.
Asthma.
Yes, asthma. Their breathing problems because
This is not too bad.
you just can't. When you're obese, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
musculoskeletal problems because you're putting more stress on your bones, cause some problems. Always pain in joints like arthritis.
Yes, sitting down, kind of hurts. Hips,
hips,
wide,
a little
wide
moving
hips.
going on, a little moving.
Yeah.
So we've gone and broken through. Now we're going to interview one Hunter Bartman, but he was not cooperating. We got thrown out of his house.
He was not happy with us.
He talked fine about us interviewing him, and then completely
he snapped.
just
It was
snapped.
bad.
I mean,
so
so we made a very tragic decision
he was in denial about his being
his
obese.
weight and didn't think that there was a problem
Yes,
with it.
and it just got really bad.
He screamed. So luckily we have a great story about a young girl who moved up from Florida.
Yes.
Was a little bit heavier and now has completely changed her life around. Is one of the healthiest people I've known.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we got the interview with the one and only
Charlotte
Okay.
Knight.
Coming up, let's see our interview with Charlotte Knight.
Hey guys.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Tell us, how old are you? Where are you from?
I am 18 years old and I am from Sarasota, Florida, but I live in Pittsburgh now.
Why did you move?
I don't really know. I don't think it's that
Parents'
important,
decision?
but yeah, it was my parents. Thanks for
Okay,
asking.
Charlotte. We go way back to St. Gabe's days. I remember whenever you came up here, you were kind of heavy, weren't you?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
How was your life back then?
My life was pretty crappy. I was a just really mean person. I was really sad because I was insecure and people were really mean to me. Oh, you know what? Funny story, actually.
Oh.
So, like, when I was younger and everything, so my mom, St. Gabe's actually, it's
Yeah,
not
I
like
know.
Christmas,
Yeah,
So
okay.
teachers, like, you
Christmas
go to
time.
buy them, like, candy or something.
Right.
So my mom bought these, like, little chocolate balls, okay? She was like, okay, you better take this to your teacher to school tomorrow. You know what I did? I hid them under my bed.
No, you didn't.
And I ate them, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I ate them and then I lied to my mom. So, like, I was a liar. I was just a meanie.
Based around food.
Yeah, all around food. It was bad.
Wow. Did you ever get bullied or anything?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time.
When I was like 4, some little boy, I told him that he was cute, and he told me I was fat, and then he ran away. I was 4 years
my
old. I remember
God.
the exact spot on the playground.
Wow.
Did you ever have trouble making friends when you were younger?
Not really. I mean, I guess I did a little, only because I didn't want to talk to people because I was insecure.
Now, what about health issues? Did you have any health issues as a kid?
I mean, I couldn't really breathe very well, like when I would run.
Breathing. Okay, so you were like out of
Yeah,
shape.
I was playing softball, trying to run the bases. I'd hit something. It should be like a triple, ended up being like a single.
Oh, wow. Okay, now, not to make this super long, but you seem to be looking good for yourself right now.
Thank you.
When did you change and why'd you want to change?
What made you change?
Like a year ago, I was kind of sick of being like just poopy all the time.
Seeing yourself like
Yeah,
that.
and so I didn't realize, like, after, like, I started working out and, like, being fit and, like, eating healthy, like, everything else like kind of came together too, and I just got like really happy, and now my life's amazing after, I don't know, like mentally and physically everything's just really good and like balanced out.
So you're proud you did it?
Oh, extremely.
Okay, now if you had some advice for the bigger people back home, what would you tell them?
I don't know, life's a lot better like once you start to care about yourself and like you're the only thing that matters. So don't take that for granted. Like don't just eat to eat, like eat to live, but not like, don't like focus your whole life around it. Everything's a lot better like if you work out and like get everything else together.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to stop?